Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Karina. Today I have my January TBR. Alright, so it's kind of crazy that it is already the first TBR of the new year. I also have two dogs next to me, so the angle might be a little crazy, but we're gonna work with what we got. As the title suggests, I will be using the prompt cards again to choose the books that I'll be reading in January. Before we pull the January cards, I'm gonna go through the picks that I selected last month to recap on how I did. The first pull that I got was for a cozy fantasy book. For this one, I selected the Teller Small Fortunes, and I did read this. The second card that I selected was a book with a journey request, and I selected One Dark Window, and I did read this. The third card I selected was an urban fantasy book, and for this one I selected Foxglove, and I did read this one. For a book with a map, I selected Malice by John Gwynne, and I am reading this currently, kind of. By currently reading, I mean I'm in the prologue, so not a total win, but it's a start, you know? It's a start. The last card I selected was a book set in space. I chose Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and I have not yet started this. Fortunately, this did not get read. So I'm going to keep the card in the book in the hopes that I can get to it soon. I'm not guaranteeing that it's going to get read in January, but I am going to keep it on the cart with the hopes that I will get to it soon. That's all I can promise. What I do want to do before the cards are pulled is select my book box book that I'm going to try and read in January. I did fall off on it for the latter half of the year, so I'm hoping to get back on track and prioritize the subscription box books that I've gotten. My hopes are that whatever book I choose, it could work for one of the cards that I pull. So let's see. All right, I guess we'll go with this one. Oh no, I'm scared. To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. The prompt jar gave me To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods by Molly X. Chang. This was an Illumicrate pick from April of 2024. So, you know, at least it's a fairly recent pick. I feel like I haven't heard many people talk about this, but it says, she has the power over death. He has power over her. When two enemies strike a dangerous bargain, will they end a war or ignite one? So, intrigued. I'm very intrigued. It could have been worse, so I'm excited to see how this one goes. And yeah, first book on the TBR. Like I said, if this could work for any of the cards, I will be utilizing that. Like last month, I will be selecting 5 prompt cards, so let's see what the first card is. Here is our first prompt. A book with a one-word title. Wow, what a win. What a win. We're starting off with a win again because a book with a one-word title, I'm selecting Wisteria by Adeline Grace. This is the third book in the Belladonna series, and the way that Foxglove ended, I am very anxious and excited to be picking up Wisteria. I'm hoping we can keep positive energy for the next 4 cards. All right, let's see what prompt number 2 is. All right, let's do this one. A book that has enemies to lovers. You know what? I'm gonna do the smart thing and select To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods because it supposedly does have enemies to lovers. So this is about our main character, Ru Ying, who has a kind of a hidden power. When this prince discovers her powers, he strikes a deal with her, and if she becomes his assassin and eliminates his political rivals, he will protect her family. Enemies to lovers and the sub box pick, 2 for 1. I love that. Love that so much. Let's see what card number 3 will be. So if you can see that, the newest book on my shelf, which is actually kind of fun because a few books that I ordered from Pango just came in. For the card, the newest book on my shelf, I'm going to be picking Tokyo Ueno Station by Yumiri. So all I know about this one is that it is a story following a homeless ghost that haunts Tokyo's busiest train station. I feel like this one could be a very moving story, a kind of self-reflecting and introspective book. I'm excited to be adding a translated work onto this TBR. Let's see what our 4th prompt is. This one. Oh, okay, light. All right, so this is a book set in a forest. What? A book set in a, oh. For a book set in a forest, I'm picking Two Twisted Crowns. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finish off this duology. I'm so excited because I had already planned on picking this one up in January, and how perfect. It's working in my favor and I'm not complaining. So I'm very excited to be finishing this one out. I really enjoyed the first book. I did give it 4 stars, but I'm excited to see how the duology concludes, and the way it ended, I almost immediately jumped into the second book, but here we are. Now it's on the TBR. The last prompt is this one. Oh. A book by an author of color. For the prompt, book by an author of color, I'm going to be picking up Ace of Spades. I'm putting Ace of Spades on the list because it was a 5-star prediction. You probably already know this is an older YA thriller that takes place at a private academy where these 2 characters are selected to be in the running for valedictorian when they start to receive mysterious messages that threaten to reveal their secrets. I'm very excited to be picking this one up, and I'm interested to see if this one really does deliver the 5-star vibes. So as most of you already know, I am a co-host for the Laini Taylor Read-Along alongside some of these amazing, beautiful, stunning humans, and we are now on Strange the Dreamer by Miss Laini Taylor herself. This has been hyped for so long, and we are all so excited to finally be on her later work. We really enjoyed our time with the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, but we have been looking forward to Strange the Dreamer from the start. I'm so excited to be picking this one up alongside my co-hosts. The live show for Strange the Dreamer will be on January 25th, which is the last Saturday of the month, over on Dana's channel. I know this story follows Leslo, who is on a mission to find the lost city of Weep. It gives me like the lost city of Atlantis vibes because no one knows where this city is. And Laszlo is on a very interesting journey where an opportunity presents itself for him to actually find it after all. I don't know much, obviously, but I'm excited to be picking this one up, and if you'd like to join us, we hope to see you over at the live show. Next up on my TBR is a romantasy that I have been hearing lots of good things about, and that is Peaches and Honey by R. Rayeta. So this one is kind of a historical romantasy, it seems. This little blurb says, a shape-shifting god, an immortality-granting peach, and a woman gifted with forever. I've heard this is kind of similar to The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue, where we have an immortal character, so I'm very curious to see how this story plays out, and it is the first in a duology, so if I do enjoy it, then I do have another book to look forward to picking up. As you may or may not know, Kayla from Books and Lala puts together a year-long challenge where you try to find books to fit specific prompts, and this year she did put together 2 ones that deal with the title of the book and ones that tackle cover prompts. So for the title challenge, the prompt for January is a book with the word truth or lies in the title. So the book I'm going to be selecting for the title prompt is Peaches and Honey because this is the first book in the Immortal Truths duology, and I want to read it, so I selected this for that prompt. For the cover prompt, it is to find a pattern on the cover of the book. For this one, I'm choosing Strange the Dreamer because there are very much patterns in the wings of this moth on the cover, so perfect. We're gonna do a quick little recap of the books that were chosen from the prompt cards. The first card that I got was a book with a 1-word title, and for this one I selected Wisteria by Adeline Grace. So for a book that has enemies to lovers, I selected To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods by Molly X. Chang. Next up was the newest book on your shelf. For this one, I picked Tokyo Ueno Station by Yu Miri. For a book set in a forest, I picked Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. The last card I selected was a book by an author of color, and I selected Ace of Spades by Farida Bikemide. Not a bad selection of books from our prompt cards today. I am happy that I was able to pick 2 series conclusions, more of a thriller and a literary fiction novel, so a nice little variety on top of the other books that I also have on the TBR. Let me know down below what is on your TBR or what you're most looking forward to reading in January. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate all of your support. If you made it this far and you want to let me know, feel free to leave a ghost emoji for Tokyo Ueno Station. I hope you have a lovely day, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Until next time.